Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for July the 11th through the 17th, 2022. So before I begin, I'd just like to welcome everyone back to this weekly series. And if you're new to my channel, I'd like to welcome you as well. And I'd also like to invite you to subscribe to the channel and select the all notification bell so that when anything pops up on my channel, you'll be aware of it, and for others to, just make sure yours is still activated. If you enjoy this content, like or dislike, and also leave comments and share your experiences and how this information has been useful and has connected with you in some way. I do read all of the comments. I may not always have time to respond with comments, but I do greatly appreciate them, and they're very useful and helpful. Also, this is my 10th anniversary year on YouTube, so if you would like an angel reading, and keep in mind that my first time promotional offer is available. It's a reading that says like as if you ever never had a reading with me before, but I'm making it available to everyone for this year, unlimited. So you can use that, but there are other choices as well that might benefit or suit your needs. So please feel free. If you feel a connection to this work and you think I can be of great support to you, then by all means, please. And my current website is theangelschool.com/services. And that link is below this video in the description area. My website will be angelicwisdom.org, just in case someone's watching this in the future and the old one, which is now my current one, is no longer working. And I think finally, I just want to remind everyone that I have posted the monthly angel reading for July. And so if you haven't seen it yet, please go ahead and check that out. Also keep in mind that the monthly angel scopes, which are the 12 videos for each zodiac sign, have already been published as well. So if you haven't had a chance to check them out, make sure that you do. And also, some people, if you're aware of your moon sign, additionally to your sun sign, your moon sign and your rising sign, people often check them out as well. And you can use them in a variety of ways. You might just feel called to check out any other, a number of any of them, and you can use that. You might want to ask your angels, like, pick a number or from 1 to 12, or to pick a sign where there might be a message for you in particular. So just know that there are different ways that you can use those readings. I mean, actually, you could probably do that with all the content on my channel, even from the past. There may be a message there for you. So even today, so you can just use your intuition about that. All right, so now let us begin, and let's take a deep breath. And just allow yourself to be aware of your heart chakra, and to just breathe into this space. And as you do this, your heart chakra opens. You might feel the warmth of your heart chakra and the glowing light that is within you. and be aware of that light that is burning deep within you, that is eternal, and that is always there, lighting the way for you, no matter what is unfolding in your life. It is steadfast and is always remaining true to who you are, and holding that light, not just to shine into the world, but it's holding up that light for you as well. It's holding up who you truly are. And all we really have to do is align ourselves with what truth in this moment resonates strongly for you. So they write the angel number 255. Let's take a look at that number. I already had a page bookmark right in there. So it says, trust that the change you are experiencing is for the best, because it is. Okay? Trust that the change you are experiencing is for the best, because it is. So I get a sense that whatever this change is, it's probably not something that you are quite on board with, right? Change is, they're writing experienced, and I get a sense that they're trying to say that you have enough experience to adapt, to adjust to this change. So when you can have faith and kind of calm down and focus. And let's just return to that inner strength, that inner light. And I really want you to think about whatever this change is that comes up to you that you might be aware of, that's challenging you in some way. And I want you to just allow that change to just give it to this light within you. And just open your arms and your heart and place it within an altar, within the light of your soul. And just breathe and continue to connect. And when you feel some kind of connection, as if that light, the strength of that light in some way has received it, received your prayer, your offer for help with this. You might just feel a click or a release of a burden. Or it might feel like some weight's just been lifted off of your shoulder. And if you have any particular worries or concerns, just offer it to the light within you. Offer it to your inner strength, your truth, knowing that it knows where you need, it knows your overall goal, it knows your purpose, and that it is bringing about this change in order to bring about the journey that you need to be on in order to reach the outcomes that you have in mind. But this change is a part of that plan. And they just need you to trust and know that this is for the best. When immediately tuned in, I saw a bed, and it just gave me a sense of dreams at nighttime. So pay attention to some of your dreams. If you're not even aware of what the challenge is, it might be something that's showing up in your dreams, some of your concerns. And they're writing that they want you to start releasing this. All right, when you discover what it is, release it. They're writing the word depression. This might be in all kinds of degrees. But I get a sense that if you're feeling like sort of low spirited because of the challenges that you're dealing with in this situation, to remember to pay attention to your diet, to be more active, exercise will really benefit you, okay, and help you to also process and move energy, to release it and let go of energy. It will really raise your frequency and help you to sort of regain a sort of pleasure for life. Okay. So they're telling me that soon you will see that there's a bigger picture. You're going to soon see the bigger picture. You're going to see why things are unfolding in the way that they are. And that there's a very important lesson for you. And they're showing me this tree. It's really, really wide, the trunk of the tree. I mean, it feels like an ancient, tree of great wisdom. And just be aware that the journey that you're on is going to take you to a place of great wisdom. And I get a sense that it's going to just free you in some way. Okay, it's really going to just really free you from a lot of different things. So this one problem is going to be an answer to many solutions for you. It's going to open many doors of opportunity. It's going to free you. It's going to allow you to really move forward. So you're moving through this process, but it's also leading to a time of really manifestations for you, where things that you've been putting out there will start to manifest. And I see that there are a number of things. So this deal has many outcomes, many opportunities from what I can see. So bear with, and really look at how it's challenging you. What is it that you might be afraid of, or it might be a thing that keeps coming up and you keep hesitating and you keep not dealing with it. And so what if, instead of trying to avoid it, you thought to yourself, what would it be like if I just faced this thing? Even if it's something that you recognize you have to change within yourself. But what if you faced it? What might be different? And might you be curious just to see how differently things might turn out? Just a little bit of that might be of great assistance to you. All right, let's take a look at the archangel that we'll be working with this week. All right, so it says Lord Wywyvsil, and he is actually an universal archangel. He is an angel of powers. So the angels of power oversee birth and life, and death. So, and they're also the lords of karma. They keepers of the Akashic records. So basically, your birth plan, like they make sure that you're born at the right moment so that you can align with your particular cosmic journey here on the Earth School or wherever it is that in other parts of the universe that you might find yourself. But, and also they help you with the transitioning. So the card says, accept and send healing. So he is a very um, powerful healing angel as well. And it says that you are a being of the universe. So I feel like at this time there is universal knowledge and experiences that you have. And this is why this change might be challenging you, but that you have the experience. That's what they meant earlier. And those of you who this resonates with, you get that. You get that even though you might feel like, you're suffering more than others, and you may also feel like, why am I going through this? Like, I know what's going on here, but how is this getting me? How is this really tripping me up? Maybe you've always had a feeling like you're just more aware, but why am I going through this? And that is because you are remembering at the core of your being that you are this universal being, that you've been in different, you've had many lifetimes, not just here on Earth, but in other places in the universe. And you've been to some of the higher schools of learning. So for that reason, it makes it even more difficult. Like, it weighs on the heart more, because it's almost like, you don't need to go through this in this way. That you have awareness and knowledge and power and energy where you could do this with, these lessons, you should be going through them with greater ease. That you should know what's been set up and know how to master it. And you know this because you've had this experience of mastery, but it's somehow you're feeling really intensely trapped in whatever ways that you're being challenged right now. And they are writing in front of me food. So they really want you to pay attention to what you put in your body. And I think food in general means anything that enters the mouth. Be aware of what it is and why you're why you're drawn to it. Because if you're drawn to something that is not healthy for you, then that means that you're using it to cope in some way. So it's being used to cope because there's something that you're not willing to confront. And when you confront, you're just basically, I call this just being honest, right? That's really all that is necessary, is to honor your truth. Because the truth is always within you, it's always flowing towards you, it's always informing you, but we're not always listening. We're not always listening. And that is the thing, I think, that universal beings run into. We're so sensitive to others that we can't take care of ourselves. We can't take care of our truth, because it's like you sense what others are up to, and then you don't want to hurt, because intuitively, instinctively, through your experience, that love is the way to heal, and compassion is the way to assist others. So you will then either doubt your instincts because you're thinking, but oh, maybe I'm putting too much out there. Maybe I'm. How can I know that? And what if I'm wrong, right? And the thing that trips us up is the need to be validated. You know, um, ha, that people like us and that's a really important thing because it makes you think that you're being good, and spiritual. But you cannot ignore the truth when it's always confronting you. So one of I'm just give you an example, and I'm discovering this of myself, um, is that I noticed that I always get these little cues from people, these like instincts about people, and I just ignored them because I always want to see the best in people. But that might not be the thing that's important here. So pay attention to what I'm getting first, so that, and to honor that and be honest about it. Yeah, you like to connect with people, everybody, and have a great positive relationship, but it's not always what is on the minds and hearts of other people. And it's not that it's intentional. So, you have to listen to that. And I'm just starting to trust that now and not get all emotionally involved, meaning that I don't try to take the responsibility for what the truth is. I don't try to make it better, that kind of thing. So you might be getting stuck in your own, these challenges might be where they actually are. They're of your own making because we don't confront the truth. We don't respect it when we get it. We try to say, okay, but how do I know? Let's give them a chance. And this is a fine line what I'm talking about, and it just sounds icky to all of us who are spiritual and want to be compassionate. And it's not saying that you would be rude. It's just that you're being aware, and you just don't engage that. You have to trust that there's a reason, that you've just been shown that this is not a situation for you, or this is not a relationship for you, no matter what type of relationship it is. You just have to accept that. You have to accept the truth. And you have to accept that you do know. Right? That's another part of it. You have to accept that you do know. So be open to what the changes that might be unfolding in your life at this time, and face them with honesty, because that's where your own healing and the healing for others can really begin. Sometimes the truth as it is what people need, right? And you may be afraid of hurting their feelings. Just even if you don't, if you get this sign that like this person is going to bring a lot of drama, and so you don't even engage them, and then you might be worried, but I don't want them to think that like there's something wrong with them. But when you go and then do something else, then what you end up doing is you prevent them from getting the lesson that they need, and then create your own and keep cycling your own. That you need to accept the truth. This is a very profound healing when we accept our truth, the truth that is coming to us, the truth that exists within us. When we do that, this is profoundly healing for you and for others in the way that it needs to be. So I feel like this challenge is a karmic lesson, and it's something that's really important. Like they showed me like a little triangle that sometimes you might see on certain crystals, like they call record keepers, I think, the crystal. So there is something that you're retrieving, either from your Akashic records, there's some kind of important lesson that's being revealed and healed at this time. And it's to help you to get back into alignment with your life purpose. All right, let's take a look at the cards. So we have the Whispering Spirit Tarot by Joanna Nelson. And all right, so we have the Two of Wands. And I love this. It's very cute. You see, he's got the world on his mind. He's got, and this is really about the reality that, about your purpose and the world that you're bringing to the rest of the world, right? The ideas and the mission and your sense of service and how you want to, contribute. You're contemplating this, and so don't. It's about, some people say, oh, it's about making plans. You're also, it's about choice. All the twos is really about a choice, and it's not just a choice between this or that, but it's also a choice about how you choose to show up in the world. And so you're really thinking about how I choose to show up in the world. And also you're looking and honoring your truth within and being aware of how that truth also needs and wants to show up in the world. And so, we get caught up and we get distracted by the things that are thrown at us as though we think they are, although we're attracting them, right? But we get caught up in this idea sometimes that, oh my God, things are just popping up and what do I do next, right? But if you're aware of how you want to show up in the world, how does your soul want you to express yourself in the world? Once you understand that very general concept is, then it becomes clear what this next steps to, or where to take that plunge on any particular path, and how to just continue to keep exercising that truth on any path. People get really stuck on the whole "what is my purpose" thing, and it's really about you. It's not about a particular road that's right or wrong. It's about how do you show up on any path that you find yourself. Because if you try to wait for the result, the outcome, if you're focused on the outcome, that is to say, if the outcome, whether it's going to be successful or not, or whether you will fail or succeed, that's focusing on the outcome. But see, that is the misconception here. It's about how you have decided to show up in life. That starts within. It's the inner reality that creates the outer reality, what you call the effects. So the cause is within. And once you decide how you want to show up in the world, there is no path that you cannot succeed upon. So if you're looking for a purpose, first you must decide how you want to show up in the world in the most general sense. Do you want to show up in the world as one who creates harmony? Do you want to be one who shows up in the world who creates laughter or who creates peace? Do you want to show up in the world as one who creates, I wanted to say, one who challenges others to find their own wisdom? Or do you want to show up in the world to energize and uplift and inspire others. How do you want to show up in the world? Because once you know how you want to show up in the world, not only in this very general sense, but even specifically as a particular situation has its own purpose, and you are able to tap into that or resonate with that, and then you decide that in this particular event or this particular situation or for this thing that you want, this is how you, like, even if you wanted an object in your home, deciding how you want that to interact in your world. So once this happens, every path that you choose, you can succeed upon it. And they're showing us this, you have birds in the air, you have this boat down below. It's like we're seeing there's different ways of transportation, there's different modes of transportation. Something about this transportation thing, I'm trying to find the word, but there are different avenues. There's not just different paths, but there's also different ways of traveling on those paths, right? It goes deeper than that, but I'm not tapping into the word I'm looking for, but it's something about these things. So just be aware about how you want to show up first, and then know that you can succeed, because what you're acknowledging is that the power of any reality is fully dependent upon your perspective, your perception, right? So we have the Queen of Wands. And just again, the Queen of Wands is always someone who's this multitasker. She is definitely someone who inspires. This is the way that she nurtures, she inspires others. And so she's a leader. She's not just sitting on the sidelines, but she's a leader. She's able to, to walk around and really create the fire, where people are lacking it. She knows how to appropriately place people where their skills and talents are best suited. So, and get in the sense too that once you figure out how you want to show up in the world, now you can focus on what roles in life suit this truth that you hold, this light within yourself that you hold. Now match yourself with something. Match the path that is suitable to how you have chosen to show up in the world, or how you wish to show up in the world. Okay? And then this is a strong sense of confidence that can develop. The Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands, all of the queens are confident. But she's someone who's definitely shows this outward confidence, and she doesn't, her role, she can, I always think of her as like, this is the kind of person, if it's a woman that can do it all. She's balanced in the masculine and feminine. So there used to be this old commercial, I hope it's not terrible to say, but I always think about that commercial from the 70s or 80s when it was like, I can bring home the bacon and fry it up in the pan. It was sort of this great commercial, because it was, saying that women don't have to be stuck in this one role, right? So that she can handle it all. And I think it's a very empowering image, that you can do you can do many things and do it well and excel. So this is a person who's very brilliant. So it asks you, if you have feelings like, I'm not capable, blah 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 blah, and all that talk, right? We all do it. This is telling you to step into this, that this that you are able to multitask, or that you have multiple talents that can be put to use. But you'll find it once you really decide, how do you want to show up? Okay. All right. So the card at the end here for the week is the Ten of Swords. So this is really funny because he's trying to leap at something. It's almost like he's trying to leap, and then those 10 swords kind of get him right before he's able to make that leap of wherever he's trying to go. And it's almost like, okay, enough of this, right? So there is something right in front of me that you need to release. And it seems kind of odd in this reading because it's like, oh, everything is sort of, we're getting ourselves together, we're accepting our truth, now we're finding something suitable. But it seems that we keep doing something, we keep repeating a pattern, and it's tired. This thing that we keep doing, it's tired, And so the way that you might feel like you're getting knocked down to the ground, right? And just, it's like finish, it's like finished, it's fini, it's no more. And take that as a sign that this is something you need to stop. Because this issue, they write, keeps compounding. It keeps just making things worse. So you have to accept the truth. The sword's about, communication and truth. So you have to accept the truth here. And it might be a hard truth to accept, but once you let this thing go, you'll be free. Notice the little boat? Notice the little boat here? You'll be back on your way. And the thing about it is that the stream is always flowing. So what happens when we are not going with our truth, or acknowledging our truth and going with the flow, our own natural flow? Well, we get sort of docked, right? Sort of on the banks, and we can't move until we stop creating these fears, stop creating these illusions. But when the Ten of Swords comes up, it's like you got to stop what you're doing, and everything that is happening is also trying to point that out to you. It's not the end, but it needs to be the end of whatever it is that you're doing, because all the tens are a card of renewal. So drop it, figure yourself out, renew, right? Go back to this and figure out how I want to show up. Because right now what this tells me is that you've been showing up in a way that's not honoring who you truly are. And it's not working. You're trying to be everything to everyone and not really being true to yourself. And when you're not true to yourself, you don't light up. You're not inspiring. You're not inspired. Your energy runs low. So you almost see how like these two cards flanking show the positive and negatives of this characteristic that might be unfolded inside of you. So you want to, it really points to this you're trying to be everything to everyone, and your energy is low. But you have all this ability, but your energy is low, or your body might be sick, or your body may be unwell, or your energy is drained, right? So you really need to go back to the drawing board here and think about how you want to show up in the world. Who do you want to be? To be or not to be, right? Think about that. All right. And so there's an opportunity for you to heal this karmic pattern And so you can call on Archangel Wywyvsil to help you release this and to heal it. All right, so the card I already pulled from the bottom of the deck is the 10 of coins. You see the birds. How many birds do we have in here? We have another bird here. Okay. So it's interesting that the bird is sort of hovering around where the coins are above the head. And it shows that you're really deeply thinking about your legacy and and your legacy is about how you've chosen to show up in the world. In the end, it's not about what you accomplished, but it's how you showed up to accomplish those things. And so there are people in the world who are very successful, but they've shown up in a way that has not been of benefit to anyone. Some they've been of no benefit to anyone, and they've been of created great harm to others. Some have shown up in the world and have had so little, but they've inspired others. Or their lives were tragic, but they inspired. Or they have great success, and they also continue to uplift people. They inspire the light and truth within others and help them to also be authentic, because they are truly being authentic. So there's all kinds of ways that people show up that is so separate from the accomplishment. Like, it's like we could just play this game like, okay, this success, failure, and then we could play how they showed up, and it could be so varied, right? So you see why it's so important to think about how I want to show up. And if you're having a Ten of Swords moment, then how have I been showing up? And now, how do I need to confront my truth? That means to say, how do I allow myself to be authentic, be true to who I really am? And then how can I show up in a way that allows that truth to shine bright and to be of some type of use and service to the world? Because making that decision about how you want to show up with the kind of success you want to have, that will make the biggest impact of all. And that is the value of the way that you show up is your true wealth, then that's the cause. What happens as a result of that is the effect. And wealth should be defined in so many different ways, not just an accumulation of things or money, but pleasure, the ability to laugh, to give others joy, right? To live authentically. These are treasures. These are gifts. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful, beautiful week. God bless you.